G'day YouTube, welcome to another video. My name is Matt and today I'm going to be working on the Integra again. You saw in the last couple of videos I've done some improvements and changed the wheels and whatnot. Today we're going to look at installing some, just making it lower, you know, just if we can sit like this, that'll be awesome, but it doesn't. So what I'm going to do now is just show you what I've got. Now this is some you know, just a marketplace purchase. These are what looks to be lowered springs, I'm going to guess, and they came out of a DC4 or DC2, but it wasn't a Type R, probably a VTIR, but as long as it fits, it doesn't matter. These it looks to be the rear that'll sit on the fork in the rear, and the front has its own little section there for the suspension fork at the front. So guessing these are the fronts. I'll do the fronts first. I've already jacked up the car, so that's the boring bits done. So what I'm going to do now is just take the wheels off and start removing the bits and pieces that I need to yeah, to install the lowered springs. So luckily these already came with, it comes with shocks already. These looks to be you know, standard shocks. Doesn't bother me, just needs to be a little bit lower for a better drive, and yeah, move on to the next thing. So let's get onto it and get the wheels off. Alrighty guys, so I've never worked on this before, so this looks all different to me. This looks like it's all caked up here, but that's okay. That's not why we're here. So we're going to see what really connects. Looks like I have to take off this part here, because that all connects up to the fork. I have to disconnect the bottom bolt down there, and maybe even the control arm bolts down there as well, because it's holding onto the arm. So don't know really what I'm doing, but let's yeah, let's do it together. So let's start by removing some of the bolts. Right, so let's get rid of this bolt off. That's free. I think these are 17s down there, so let's grab 17. I dare say that that's torqued down too hard, so let's use a breaker bar to break it off. Right, so that's broken off. Let's go ahead and now take that off, but I think I've got to get a spanner in there to hold that. That bolt's off. I think that fork is off, but I've got to get it off somehow. So let me get a hammer. There you go. Right, so hammer worked. Also used a screwdriver to tap it a little bit more inside. Like that, tap that, and then it comes out that way. So that's the bottom, and I think now I'll do the tops. So get the footings back on again. This seems really that looks easier to do than the Golf, that's for sure. That's off. Don't use that. This whole arm is loosely off, so let me try and negotiate that off. Come back. See if this pop up. So that's all off. really it? What? Stuck and stuff. Brake lines and shit. One. That's one. Let's compare it to how short that's going to be. So it actually doesn't look like it's going to be too much shorter, but the springs look different. Oh, these are different shocks, definitely. All right. Man, let's put this on. So I'm going to need a jack for this. Let's reverse install this, shall we? I think we'll get the suspension in to the top and leave it loose so that I can wiggle this fork in to it. So let's try and do that. I don't know if you can see that. Righto. So pop the 2 14 at the top. Goes over all this stuff. Alright, that's in. Alright, tap that in. Put the tap that bolt in, start the nut. That is sweet. Put this bolt in place. And put a bit of pressure on. And that's it. So now it's just a matter of, now these are spare because yeah, I don't have it in there. I'm just going to zip tie them to the suspension. I was watching one of Rex's videos, but I'm going to tighten everything up and reverse order the install, and I'll come back. Alrighty, all said and done. Tightened up the bolts, 17, the 14. There's no 12s there, so I zip tied it out of the way. You can thank Rex for that little hack there. Springs look good. Top is short, tightened. Yeah, nothing really much else to it. I'm going to now just lower the suspension so it's out of the way. I honestly don't know if I needed that, but for this it seemed okay. Everything went back as it should. Pretty straightforward on that one. So yeah, I won't show the other side because it's quite easy, the same, and I'll move along to the other side. So yeah, guys, whoo, does it make a difference or what? Yeah, dude, yeah, it does. So front is perfect. Like that's that's bordering really low, but love this fitment. Fat tires. There's only one gap of space. I struggled to get the jack out, but yeah. Does this lower? Yes, it does. It's probably stiffer too, but that's okay. This is going to make for an awesome car. So let's do the back now. Let's jack it all up and show you what I'm going to do with it. Alright, so I forgot to record. Actually, I wanted to try it out first and see, you know, what to do here, because I've never done this before, and I was out of my comfort zone with working on this. But hats off to the double wishbone setup. Now I'm lucky. I'm in Australia. There's no rust as such. Sorry, States, United States and UK, Europe people with the snow and salt. But we don't get that here. So unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, all the bolts came out. It was still shiny. Put it back in again. What I did was, now you have to get that bolt off, and they're all, that's 14, that's 14, and you need to get the control arm bolt off, which is on this side here, and you can get in there with a gun. There you go, and it'll fit perfectly. So 14, 14, 14, everything is 14, makes sense, perfect. Then once you do that, you can drop this control arm down. You can actually just bring it down. I brought this out, but you don't even need, you don't even need this suspension majiggy. And then in here you pop the cover off and you take the 214, surprise surprise, bolts off. Hats off to the Japanese again. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I work on Volkswagen Audi cars. I've had a few in my day. I haven't recorded all of them, which I probably should have in my earlier time, but that's okay. But it just all makes sense. So easy. There's literally like 3 bolts there, 2 bolts at the top, flick it down and it goes down. So now I'm gonna pop the you need a jack. So you need a jack to jack and put pressure on the suspension again to line up the holes, and then you can get the bolts in. So it's 3 14 bolts, 2 at the top, 2 at the top, and yeah, it just drops. Now you do have to sort of pick up the hub and push it down and try and line things up, but it is nowhere as hard as I thought it would have been. So hats off to the 90s JDM design. Good stuff, Honda. I understand now why a lot of the JDM fanboys, the Honda community, really love working on suspension parts for this, because it all just makes sense. Like even the middle beam there, I've seen people upgrade that. That looks like that just comes out and bolts on relatively easy. So yeah, so I'm gonna get cracking to the other side and then drop the car down. Guys, we did it. We got it down on the ground. I've been driving it around all day to try and fix a few things here and there, but end result, I think it looks mega mint now. Look at that. Back is low. It's about, you can probably just stick one finger in there. The front is even lower. It only rubs hard, well, it doesn't rub hard, but it only rubs during tight turns. Otherwise, it's perfect. Like the amount of rubber it has versus how low, it just looks mean. Yeah, I quite like the setup. So, Skunk 2 lowered springs along with the shocks. I don't know what kind of shocks they are because it came with the purchase, but it looks and feels pretty good to drive. Yeah, it just sits so well now. Alright, let me know if you're interested in buying it someday, because after I restore it, I'm gonna maybe move it on. And it's not long to go now. There's not much else to do. There's an exhaust leak that I'm trying to get fixed. I'm going to take it for a The wheels seem okay. I might just get what is it called, the wheel alignment done, because now it's lowered. I don't know what's, how straight or how true it is anymore, so might as well get all done. I'm going to give it another proper wash, clay bar this time, and give it a polish, give it a wax and polish, polish and wax, and I will do a transmission flush. I'll do about 4 of them to really get all the old fluid out. Brakes are okay, but yeah guys, that's pretty much it. So thanks a lot for watching, those who are following so far. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.